Thank you so much for joining us today for our online donor portal tutorial. It is September 2020, and the nature of this year, please forgive any blips in our internet or any challenges we have with this video. We otherwise wanted to provide you a very short tutorial so that you can feel comfortable logging in and interacting with your fund online. My name is Sarah McKinney. I'm the president and CEO of the Athens Area Community Foundation, and in just a moment, you'll get to meet our other staff members. The most important thing we want you to know is that there are multiple ways that you can engage with your philanthropy. First and foremost, we are always available by phone, email, text, and we've added this online function as a way for you to be able to log in and view and interact with your philanthropy at any time of the day. I'm going to share my screen now, and while I'm doing so, I'd love for Kipper to kick us off with an introduction of herself.
Hi, I'm Kipper Kozlowski, and I've been with the Community Foundation for 3 years.
And Stephanie.
Hey, I'm Stephanie Mann. I joined the team this past January.
And both Stephanie and Kipper and myself, our contact information is on this About Us tab of our brand new website, AthensAreaCF.org. You can find every way to get in touch with us. And first and foremost, we want to be available to you at all times. And just like we were talking about, we've got this new login function of our website. And before I go forward, it's important that you know this is a password protected, secure website. Our board leadership took great care in being sure that the software program that we selected for this service was fully vetted and is safe. Please know that we take great care with your information. We will be sending you an email with a username and for you to be able to establish a password. We will never be able to see your password. While we can log in and see your fund, we do not know your password for this site. But with that said, if you forget it, you lose it, or you simply want to reset it, we can do that for you at any time. So today, if you get a chance, visit AthensAreaCF.org and you'll click this login button. This login button will take you to a page that looks just like this. I've put in my username and my password, and when I click login, you'll be taken to a list of all the funds that you have at the Athens Area Community Foundation. For the purposes of today's training, though, we have a test site set up, so it looks just a little bit different, just a color structure, but otherwise, every aspect of what you're going to learn about today is just what you'll see when you log in to your donor portal. So from here, I'm going to kick it over to my coworker, Kipper, and she'll walk you through a couple of the great functions of this site.
All right, so if you do have multiple funds, you will click on the fund that you would like to see, and you'll immediately find that your fund balance will appear. This will be in real time since we now have all of our operations in-house and we can keep it very current. So we're very excited to offer that to you. You'll also see your recent contributions. These are any contributions that you have made to your fund, and you'll be able to see the dates and everything else, as well as any recent grants that you have made. You'll also see the status of your grants, and this is a really neat way that you can keep up with making sure your grant has been completed and that type of thing. So if you take a look at your grants in the status column, Sarah, would you mind lighting up that status column?
Sure. I think I jumped ahead of you too, Kipper. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's under grants. Okay, there we go. So you'll see that you have one category that's pending, and that just means that you have been successful in requesting a grant. You'll see approved. That's the next one. And if your grant has been approved, that means we have run a GuideStar charity check to make sure that you are making a grant to an IRS approved organization, and you can make grants to any 501c3 in good standing, as well as a government agency or a school. And so we make sure that your money is well used in that way. The paid status means that we have issued a check, and that check is on the way to the organization. And complete means that we have emailed you to let you know that your grant has been completed, and we'll continue to do that. That's something that we've done all along, and we'll continue to be in touch with you to let you know your grant has been completed. But you can also always check that on your donor portal. You can also make grant requests directly from the portal. You'll have a grant request tab. You can see that. Sarah's just clicking on that. And you'll have several ways that you can go ahead and set up a grant. So on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see that you can choose from grantees you've given to in the past. There's a drop down. You can click on one you've given to in the past and then just follow the prompts to request the grant. The next thing you can do is give to other funds here at the Community Foundation. Again, you'll have a drop down for any funds you've given to in the past. The next option, if you scroll down a little bit there, Sarah, there we go. You can search for other grantees. So if there is an organization, you're not exactly sure of the name, you can search through and see a list of grantees that we have on file. And then you can also enter a grantee manually. So if you know the name and address, you can go ahead and fill those in. You'll also have some areas where you can put in any extra information that you might want us to know about that grant. If there is a particular designation you have for that grant, you can go ahead and put that in. You can click the submit button.
I didn't enter the address, so you get
and then that will appear in our pending grants, and we'll go ahead and get that grant started for you. One other thing I want to make super clear is that if you would like to donate from your fund, it's important that you log into your donor portal and use the grant request tab. If you go directly to our donate tab on our website, that will prompt you to enter a credit card number and all of your credit card information, and your credit card will be billed. So that donate button is more for people who do not hold a fund with us, who would like to make a donation to a fund. If you would like the dollars to come from your fund and therefore give a grant, you're going to use your donor portal. And of course, you can always, if you're not comfortable using the donor portal, you can always email us and we're happy to get the grant started for you.
Kipper, thank you so much. Stephanie, I'll pass it to you now for your portion.
On the tabs, you can see a tab for contributions, and you can click on that and see any donations that have been made to the fund. It'll show any contributions you have personally made or contributions from others if your fund receives contributions from other people. You can see just a general description right here in a listing. If you want to see any particular donor's history of giving, you can click their name and see the history that that particular donor has made to the fund. And then if you go back to the general contributions tab, there's an option to export all of the data. And so you can click export and it'll pull up an Excel document, and you can see all of the information on contributions made to your fund and can run different filters or sort it in any way that would be helpful for you to see it. And then if you click the statements tab, that will show you your quarterly fund statements. Those are automatically posted to your online portal every quarter, and you can see the history right there. And if you want to see any particular quarter, you can click the print button and it'll pull up a PDF of your fund statement. And this just shows your beginning balance for that quarter, the ending balance for that quarter, And then the second page will show details of any contributions to your fund and any grants that you made in that quarter.
Stephanie, thank you so much for going over the statements and contributions, and Kipper for doing the grants and grant requests. Right now, I'm going to cover the files portion. When we originally established your donor advised fund at the Athens Area Community Foundation, we completed a donor advised fund agreement. This agreement just navigates the many options of your fund. For example, is it endowed or not endowed, who your advisors are on the fund, and even who your succession plan is. For example, grandchildren or your children who will take over the fund advising of this fund long after we're gone. So please know that this will always have the most current information as far as your fund goes. We'll have different overview topics for using this donor portal, and we can adjust these fund agreements at any time. So, 20 years from now, when your fund is still active and growing and you decide you'd like to leave this fund to a nephew, we can absolutely update this fund agreement. Just get in touch with one of us and we'll be sure that we do that with you. We can upload other documents here for you as well, so just let us know if there's information that you would like to be sure that you're able to view. Lastly, I do want to be sure that, again, we reiterate that this is a secure password protected site, and at any time we can reset your password for you. We will never be able to actually see your password though. That's important. As well, we have a log out button here that when you're done, you can click log out and you'll be taken out of your donor portal. Important to note, if you don't log out at midnight every day, the system will log you out, much like your bank does. If you're inactive for a period of time, it will log you out. So you will need to know your username and password to get back in. Thank you so much for anchoring your giving with the Athens Area Community Foundation. Our goal every single day is to help you and your family create a dynamic legacy. And our commitment to you is serving as a trusted community leader, a trusted partner for organizations throughout our community, and serving as your trusted guide for giving and for your family philanthropy. We want to be sure your expectations are met at all times and that your experience is positive and brings you joy in giving. If you have any questions, don't forget you can call, email, text us at any time. We want to be sure you feel on fire about giving today and thinking about our community 100 years from now. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Okay, stop the share. I think we did it.